Greetings to the Geek Clan. This is Grimlock Stonehammer, and in the realm of Discord is Icewing, and we are going to talk about vampires because I don't know, it's sunny time, and I thought that we would be safer if we talk about vampires in the summertime and not the wintertime, because we know what happens with people in the wintertime, especially in Alaska. When it's wintertime, 30, was it with 30 days of nights or whatever? Yeah, I think that's what it's called. Very gory vampires. What vampires are supposed to be. So, Icewing, you're a vampire fan, right?
Yeah.
Bye. It seems like some people are leaving the lair. So, what are some of the, like, when you were growing up, what were some of the favorite vampire lores or movies or comics that you were actually interested in before the phenomenon? Or should I just start talking about vampires and let you chime in?
Yeah, just start talking.
Okay, so the Count. We'll start with him right now. He's Sesame Street, and he's the Count, and he counts. Now, a lot of people would wonder why is he called the Count, and he's a vampire. Icewind, do you know this reason why? You should know, because it's in vampire lore.
No. What?
So, to prevent vampires from entering your house, you spread a bunch of beads or something in front of your house, and they have to constantly count all of them before they can enter.
Oh.
So that is why Sesame Street's Count is called the Count, because it's based off the myths of vampires. And there's always, now, we do have to, Bram Stoker Dracula is the one who kind of like started the whole myth of vampires and things of that nature. And you know how he got the inspiration for that novel, Icewing?
No.
He saw a news article in the 1800s about the vampire epidemic in Rhode Island. And he started to get this idea about writing a book about, Dracula, which is Vlad the Impaler. He's not really a vampire, but he kind of fits the bill quite good because, he used to like to impale his enemies and let the blood flow. Nice guy, huh?
Yes.
So this is where the whole vampire mythos started, and there's all kinds of different vampires out there.
But my man, I'm still watching Deadpool.
Okay, Deadpool is not a vampire, dude. I know he regenerates like a vampire, but he's not a vampire. But there is a vampire. So, who do you know any Marvel vampires, Icewing?
No.
Really?
No, there was any.
Really?
Yeah.
You're killing me, Smalls. Blade is a Marvel vampire. He's actually half. The only conception that I would accept as a half vampire, because she was pregnant, she was bitten, and when he came out of the wound, he became like a half vampire, half human. Like he had the thirst. And a lot of things with vampires is the thirst, is they crave blood. Or vampires don't always have to take blood. They can also take psychic...
Whoa. Clean stream.
What? What the hell do you think I was talking about? We're not talking about succubuses. Those are totally different than vampires. You sicko.
Well, I mean, not for nothing. If they're after blood, which is life-giving, there is a certain fluid that contains more life-giving essence, so they should really suck that. Saying.
So Icewing, you really had to go there.
Of course I did.
This is like PG.
Why wouldn't be Icewing?
Even though there are some crazy animes that have like succubus half vampires, which is kind of weird. We're not gonna mention those animes. Yeah, kind of strange. I'm just saying. Yeah, anime is just weird. There was the one where this normal kid went to a monster high school, and yeah, she was like she had this vampire collar that like protected her from her vampire powers, and she was all like cutesy, ditzy, innocent. And then when it came off, she became like this evil, strong, independent woman that kicked ass. Whatever. And she only drank from one guy. Go figure. That's one of the weird animes. One of the weird animes. So some classic vampire movies would have to be Lost Boys. I would say that would be on top of the list of vampire movies, in my opinion. What would you say to that, Icewing?
I would say Twilight.
Icewing, I forbid you to mention the sparkly vampires.
Yep.
Why'd you do that? Why?
I'm Icewing. That's what I do.
Dude, we're not talking about biscuit. Okay. Oh, no, I'm going to go on this rant. Thanks a lot, Icewing. First off, you don't fall in love with your food source, okay? You don't go like, I feel heavily involved. If you're like a 600-year-old vampire who hasn't got laid, who's a virgin, and is like pawning over your food source, there is a problem. There's also a problem of vampires not being slayed. Like, they're totally invincible. I have a problem with this. I also have a problem with them walking outside the sun and they glitter like magical disco balls. Problem. It's just stupid. I can't. Okay, I'm going to change the subject. So why? Because this is the worst vampire. Well, there are some worse vampires. Maybe Duckula. Duckula is even a better vampire, and he's a duck who, was like recreated, and the nanny messed up with ketchup instead of blood, and he became like a vegan vampire, which is kind of weird. A vegan vampire, yeah. He sucks. He sucks the juices of fruit. Kind of weird.
You know what? I don't even want to know.
Dude, Duckula was it's a 70s cartoon. Check it out. It's pretty cool. There's also Count Chocula.
No.
Count Chocula, one of the best Halloween.
Unnecessarily censored Count is also hilarious.
What, Blackula?
No, unnecessarily censored Count.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes. Check that up on YouTube. That's funny. Alucard. Now, Alucard, there's a bunch of different Alucards, which is Dracula spelled backwards, and it's the son of Dracula. One of the Alucards is from Castlevania. Okay, I really like this series, and it was a video game first. Netflix took it over and made it into a video game. I mean, animated series, and I thought it was very cool. And I always like vampire movies with slayers in them because it just makes it more interesting than, Interview with the Vampire, where he's just talking about how his life sucks and, how this vampire took his life away and blah, 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 blah. Which Icewing's probably going to disagree with me that he loved Interview with the Vampire, and, and it was a really good vampire movie, right? Like Queen of the Damned. No? Wow. No? Yeah. You're not going to defend that?
You're entitled to your opinion even if it's wrong.
It's not wrong. I know there's a lot of hardcore Anne Rice fans out there. She's the one who writes a lot of vampire novels, and kudos to you. So if you're interested in that thing, I liked Underworld. Underworld was actually a really new concept that I liked because it didn't deal with humans. It dealt with werewolves and vampires and how they had this like huge battling, fighting, with each other. And then it got kind of weird with the hybrid werewolf vampire thing. But we're not going to go into that. But I thought that was kind of interesting. Um, Alucard, also from Helsing, is very awesome. He kills vampires. And Helsing is a really gory anime. So if you should not watch it with kids whatsoever.
What's that new show I was watching?
That sucked.
It didn't suck.
Well, it wasn't. It was what the hell was it called? Helsing, right?
No, not Helsing. The one with the little girl.
The Passage.
Yeah, that's pretty decent. A new take on vampires.
Now Helsing was kind of weird. It kind of like made vampires into like zombies. Like instead of having zombie hordes, they had vampire hordes, and it was kind of strange. I really didn't get into it. I was like, all right. I Am Legend. I don't know if you consider those vampires, Icewing.
More like zombies.
More like zombies. Yeah, but they were affected by the light. Yeah.
Yeah.
So another movie that made.
I can't believe they're not zombies.
I can't believe they're not zombies. I don't think we're gonna. I don't know if we should do a zombie discussion because that'd be. The Priest actually was good. I don't know if you saw that movie, Icewing.
Maybe.
Basically, vampires are totally different. They're not elegant. They're not beautiful. They're like a hybrid. They're like a hive pack mentality. They build like these huge ant hills, and they live in this like hive basically. And there's a queen, and they have drones and stuff like that, and they attack, and they're really ugly and nasty. Because most like people have dreams like fantasy things about vampires being pretty and beautiful, but not all vampires are like that. Some of them are really creepy and evil looking, and I'm just saying, it's just one of those things. So I did like Priest. It had a different concept. Daybreak was another one where vampires took over the world, and basically the human supply of blood was running out. And what ended up happening is the vampires started to turn into these winged winged bat creatures, which was kind of awesome. I don't know if you've seen that one either. Icewing?
No.
No,
I didn't.
no. Okay. Is there any other like vampire movie you've seen that is good or bad?
Not recently.
How about any old ones?
No. Are you kidding? I don't remember much these days.
See, I did. All right, guys. I did this stream because Icewing is like a vampire fan. Okay, I figured.
Yeah, that's true. I just can't think right now.
Okay, what are some of the powers of vampires that you kind of like?
Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charms is not a vampire.
Of course it is. You just don't know it.
Oh wait, I forgot about Buffy the
How can you forget about Buffy?
because she's like lame. I mean, what?
Buffy is not.
We're gonna have like a bunch of hate mail now.
Take that back, or else I ban.
They're gonna be like, nah. I don't know about the series, but the movie was kind of wacky. I'm Pee Wee Herman as a vampire. Come on now, man. Like, really? Come on. He's like when she stabs him, he's like does this dramatic roll. Like he doesn't even turn to dust. He just like, Dead, I'm loving it. Is a good vampire spoof. That is really funny. Does the whole Dracula thing. I like that. That was kind of cool. And then there's Being Human, which is a vampire, werewolf, and a ghost living in the same house, which is kind of interesting. Now, there are different types of vampires, correct, Icewing?
Yes, there are different breeds.
Okay. And they're not all pretty looking, correct?
No, the Nosferatu are not.
Okay. And those are the original vampire movies from the silent films, correct?
The ugly ones, yes.
Yeah, it's the ones that creep in with the long hands and the silent films. That was pretty creepy. What are some of the other types of vampires, sir?
Oh God, I'd have to Google it right about now.
Okay, so should we talk about Lord Strahd?
Um, if you feel up to it,
Oh yeah. Why do I feel like this conversation is one sided?
because it is. I'm watching a movie.
Okay, well you know what, dude? Seriously, dude. Anyways, DG,
Commercial.
you know what? Maybe we should just do a Deadpool freaking one, and then you could be like, "Oh, well, I'm watching that right now," and then we can talk about Deadpool, right?
Yeah.
So, anyways, Lord Strahd is the vampire Lord of Ravenloft,
He's the Lord of Ravenloft.
and he's a bad vampire. Like his power is, oh yeah, you don't want to mess with him. Once the mistake you, you are there forever unless you can figure it out. It's a very, dude. That realm sucks for playing in D&D. I'm just saying. It just
I'm
was.
glad you actually said D&D because for those of us that are, or for those of you that have no idea what Mr. Grimm is talking about, it is about D&D. It's a realm in which you play in. It's Eternal Night, effectively. Um, think of it as the world of eternal bad things. Just keep coming to say hi.
Yeah. There was like a paladin that became a death knight too, and there's some really nasty stuff there. But the vampire, like, and Ravenloft is like different sections of Ravenloft are ruled by different evil things, and Lord Strahd is one of them, who's like this badass vampire. Which I have a funny story about to tell them that we had a cleric that was a Thorak the Brave and thought he was the biggest shit ever.
Thoras the Brave.
Yeah, Thoras, yeah. Thoras, and he thought he was the biggest shit going. Puts his feet on there.
Hey, Mr. Grimlock, I have to take off for a little while. I will be back.
Okay, I don't know if I'll be on, but all right. So I'll handle the show.
In case, I will see you next week, peeps.
Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna be talking about. Maybe we should talk about Deadpool.
No, I'll think of something.
You're gonna pick up the subject? Okay, cool. All right.
It'll be a surprise up until right before we start.
Oh, great. Oh, I love those.
No prep.
We're talking about this. I have no idea what we're talking about. Don't worry about it. And then I'm just gonna be like, we got this. Yeah, sure, right. And yeah, that's gonna be awesome. All right. Yeah, if I'm here, if you're back on the stream, that's cool. All right. Enjoy, yeah, buddy. We'll talk to you later. So yes, there's all kinds of different types of mythology around vampires. One of the states, if you want to look at history of vampires, you can check in Rhode Island because there's a lot of Rhode Island myths and lore about vampires down in 102. Apparently, New Hampshire has the most vampires legends. Apparently, so from what I heard, when I went to Ocean State Paracon, I was talking to one person about that, and there are so many different things about vampires on all kinds of different stages. You can think of Hotel Transylvania, where the vampire is in control of the monster thing, and that's kind of cool. So I don't know if there's any other vampire shows or games you guys want to talk about, or movies that are interested. Um, it's just there's also Morpheus, who is a in the '90s Spider-Man took Peter Parker's blood, got mutated into a bat, and he became a vampire who like takes plasma through the hand. It's kind of interesting how you do that. So there's all kinds of like Batman's fought Dracula a couple of times, which is kind of interesting. Batman fighting Dracula, yeah, the Dark Knight fighting Dracula, and there's just all kinds of different odds and ends of different mythology and things of ancient legends about Dracula. He's like Dracula or vampires in general have been told throughout the centuries. And will there be new vampire movies? Of course. Will you guys like them all? Probably not. Okay, different incantations of vampires. I don't agree with vampires reproducing because vampires are technically dead. They are the undead, and that's why I don't see them reproducing at all. I don't have vampires. I liked how Blade explained half my vampires and how that happened, which was pretty cool. Okay, and I do that. Castlevania really was a different depiction of Dracula. I kind of liked it. Um, like he wasn't like a monster until they killed his human wife, and then he turned and he became to like destroy humanity by essence because of what humanity had did to his wife. So, like I said, there are a lot of different vampire stuff out there. If you got tell so leave a comment down, guys. If tell me some of your favorite vampire series or characters that you guys like. In the low, if you guys like this channel, like and subscribe, share. It's always cool, and thank you guys for always watching. And for you Facebookers, thank you for always listening to the channel. I'm always happy to see that, and very happy about things like that. So until then, I pretty much don't have anything because, like I said, this was supposed to be Icewing subject because he is the knowledgeable one about vampires and stuff like that, and he was really into them. So I was trying to give him a subject. So apparently, next week I don't know what we're talking about, but it's in Icewing's hands, and we will be talking about a mystery topic next Wednesday, 7:30, guys, Eastern Standard Time. So if you want to join us in the geek topic of whatever we're discussing, that will be cool. So until then, guys, enjoy your night. Thank you for watching. Hopefully everything is going well. Until then, I'll talk to you guys later. This is Grimlock Stonehammer signing out.